What's going on, y'all? We're back. UFC 304 just wrapped up. As we all saw, that man, GOAT Law Muhammad, is the new welterweight champion. I don't know what kind of world we're living in now. Never thought I would see this day. I think a lot of y'all probably never thought we would see this day also. But we're here. GOAT Law finally did it. It's time to finally start remembering the name. Let's look at some of these fights to make after the event. We're not going to look at every single fighter on the main card, but we'll look at the ones that, everybody cares about. Starting off with Arnold Allen, coming off of a pretty impressive win over Giga Chikadze. He won by decision. I'm kind of surprised with Arnold Allen's performance. He stood the whole time, did not really try to even shoot a takedown, and he still won the decision. Very impressive. Arnold Allen continues to impress me. I still think he's one of the best featherweights in that division. I think you match him up with a guy in Yair Rodriguez. Arnold Allen has proved he can hang with the best of the best in that division. He went 5 rounds with Max Holloway. He arguably won 2 rounds in that fight. He also went to decision with Movsar Evloev. A lot of people think he actually won that fight. The judges didn't think so. But Arnold Allen, I think you give him a guy like Yair who's in the top 5 and put him right there knocking at the door of a title shot. Arnold Allen is a great boxer, has a bomb in his left hand, also can mix in the grappling very well. Yair Rodriguez, one of the most crafty strikers in all of the UFC. I think this is such a fun fight to make for a UFC Fight Night main event. It's a fun fight. It's a fight very much needed in this division. I love it. All right, moving on. Paddy the Baddie, coming off a very impressive first-round submission win against Bobby King Green. Obviously, he called out Renato Moyano. Them two have been going back and forth for a while now. I think it makes all the sense in the world. But unfortunately, Moicano's booked right now against Benoit Saint Denis at UFC Paris. So why not give Paddy the winner of this fight? I do think BSD is going to come out on top in this matchup. But even if he wins, he's a rising prospect in that division. Obviously, Paddy is a rising prospect in that division. Why not match them up? And then obviously, if Moicano wins, we've already got the beef between Paddy and Moicano, and the build-up would be awesome. They were talking about doing the Ultimate Fighter, which is probably not going to happen. But the Ultimate Fighter, a build-up between Paddy Pimblett and Renato Moicano would be hilarious. The trash talk back and forth would be awesome. But not only that, this would actually be a really fun fight as well. And then whoever were to win that matchup is right there looking at a potential top 5 matchup. But Paddy Pimblett continues to prove people wrong. He is now a ranked fighter in that stacked lightweight division. But me personally, I don't know how much further he's going to be able to go. I don't know if he can beat a guy like BSD or Moicano, honestly, but these are fun fights. I think this is what is next for Paddy Pimblett. All right, moving in to the co-main winner. Tom Aspinall retains his interim UFC belt, basically the undisputed championship. I think there's only one option right now, and that's to fight Jon Jones. For some reason, Dana White is dead set on Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic, and if it was up to anybody else, honestly, I think anybody else in the world, if they were in charge, we would get Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones. I mean, at this point, it's blatantly obvious Jon Jones does not want to fight Aspinall. I don't know if he's scared or if he doesn't want to ruin his legacy, but he does not want that smoke. Tom Aspinall just finished Curtis Blades in 60 seconds. He continues to do it to everybody. He's running through everybody. We haven't seen this man get tested yet. I think this is the hardest fight of Jon Jones' entire career, and this is the fight more than any fight I want to see in the UFC. Unfortunately, I don't believe we're going to get it because it looks like Jon Jones and Stipe are fighting, but I don't think Tom Aspinall should defend that interim belt anymore. I think it's Jon Jones or nobody. Even if somehow Stipe finds a way to beat Jon Jones in a massive upset, Stipe is going to retire. He said he doesn't even care about the belt. He just wants to beat the greatest of all time. So even if Stipe were to win, he's going to retire. I guess Aspinall would get promoted to the heavyweight champion. And then at that point, if that happens, if Jones and Stipe both retire, I think you do Aspinall versus Alex Pereira. By this point, I'm sure we'll have seen Ankalaev versus Pereira. And honestly, I don't think it matters what happens in that fight. If Poatan wins, he can move up to become triple champ. Even if he loses, I think he still moves up to heavyweight. I mean, that's what happened when he fought Izzy. He got knocked out and then decided to move up to light heavyweight. Even if he loses his light heavyweight belt, I think it's a perfect chance to move up to heavyweight. But Poatan has said he's not interested in fighting for an interim belt. But if Tom Aspinall gets promoted to heavyweight champ, I think it's perfect to make that fight. But me personally, I would definitely rather see Jon Jones versus Aspinall. But I'm not mad either way. Just please give Aspinall the chance to become undisputed champion. In my eyes, he already is the undisputed champion, but come on. Do the right thing, Dana, please. Any chance Dana White gets, I'm not even joking, he continues to prove this point each and every press conference. Any chance Dana White gets, he glazes John Jones so bad. But this is the fight to make. I don't want to see Aspinall fight the winner of Gane and Volkov unless Jones and Stipe retire. All right, let's move into the last two fighters that took part in the main event. Starting off with Leon Edwards. I don't know if Leon just looked bad or Belal Muhammad looked so good that he made Leon look bad. Leon Edwards said he wants to fight again in November or December. I think you give him a little bit of a step down in competition, make him fight a rising prospect in Ian Gary. I just found out the other day that there's a little bit of beef going on. Well, not really a beef, but a little bit of a history between Leon Edwards and Ian Gary. They used to train together. Something happened where Ian Gary got kicked out of the gym. So there's a little bit of a storyline there, which could be entertaining, could possibly get a little bit heated. And on paper, this is a really fun fight. Two very good strikers in that division. I know Ian Gary did not look the best in his last fight, but I think MVP has the ability to do that to anybody in that division. I think he can make the best strikers just look goofy on the feet. He's such an awkward style, very hard to prepare for. I think Leon Edwards versus Ian Gary is such a fun matchup. But if Leon were to win this fight, he's right there. He probably needs a win or two more after this to get right back in title contention. And then if Ian Gary were to win, he just beat the former champion. He's right there for a title shot as well. Also, Ian Gary has a lot of hype behind him. Not as much as he did. He could develop into a villain in the UFC or a big star. There's a lot of potential there with Ian Gary, whether you love him, whether you hate him. I think this is a pretty cool fight to make. All right, let's move on to the final fighter, the new welterweight champion, Belal Muhammad. Now, some of y'all might not understand my logic on this one, but y'all got to hear me out. I think Belal Muhammad should fight Kamaru Usman next. Now, a lot of people are going to say that he needs to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov, which I do not mind, but has Shavkat really earned that title shot? I mean, let's be real, he's coming off of a win over Wonderboy. Does that really deserve a title shot? But I know Usman is now on a 3-fight losing streak. Does not look good, but he's the second greatest welterweight of all time. I know Belal Muhammad wants to fight him. Usman also said he wants to fight the winner of Leon and Belal. Also, I think that it might sell more pay-per-views than Shavkat would. Belal Muhammad is 36, about to be 37. I think Usman's also 37. I think Dana White would rather see Usman fight than Shavkat right now. Shavkat's still young. He's still hungry. I think they're looking to do a number one contenders fight with him. Now, I don't know if that's going to be with JDM or Ian Gary. They both have been calling for it, but I think one of those fights is going to happen. And in the meantime, while you figure out who the true number one contender is, let's do Belal Muhammad versus Kamaru Usman. If Belal Muhammad wins this fight, he has now beat two of the top 5 greatest welterweights of all time, possibly even 2 and 3. And then he's on his way up to GSP's level like he's been calling for. But I think this is actually a very winnable fight for Kamaru Usman. Belal Muhammad did look very, very good. But I know I'm biased, but I want to see Kamaru Usman with the belt again. No, he doesn't necessarily deserve this shot, but we've seen so many undeserved title shots recently. I really don't think Belal would be opposed to taking this fight either. He's talked about wanting to fight Usman and establish his legacy. So I think this is honestly the fight to make next. I think there's an argument for Shavkat. I want to see him win one more fight though. I would like to see them do Shavkat versus JDM personally and do Leon versus Ian Gary. But we'll have to see what Dana White wants to do. But y'all let me know which fights y'all want to see. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. That's going to be it for me. Y'all make sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and we out.